Hello and welcome to the Lightworker Listening Lounge. I'm Joe, and today we're going to talk about some of the joy, several instances of joy that I have found via my listening to and going to concerts of the band Yes, one of my absolute favorites, and also talking a little bit about dreams, quick how-to on lucid dreaming, a little bit about the potential of multidimensionality within dreams. And so stick around and enjoy. First, a little bit about the new release is From a Page. This is a deluxe edition reissue. The band recorded this around 2010 when they had Oliver Wakeman touring with them, playing keyboards and doing some writing. And somehow I largely missed that whole portion of the band's history, and it's great to hear it. It had come out very briefly, and I missed it completely around 2019. They just reissued it in 2026, remastered, and additional bonus tracks. Here's some of the art cards that come with it, with Oliver Wakeman, and Oliver's over here. And Rick Wakeman's son, if you want to get the sound of Rick Wakeman without actually using Rick Wakeman, the best way to go is with one of his children. Oliver is great. And more of the art cards that came included. These are artwork by Roger Dean, their longtime artistic collaborator, who designed a bunch of their concert sets in the 70s and most of their album covers. And big fan of Roger's as well. And I've met Roger Dean a couple of times on the 2015 Cruise to the Edge, Yes themed cruise, and at the 2002 Near Fest, Northeast Art Rock Festival. I think this one it was in Trenton, New Jersey. And you can see Roger Dean signed my program cover. He did the artwork for that year with the moth theme. And this he was on a bit of an insects kick around the early 2000s and did some of that with Yes as well. The album, again, came out around 2010. That was right around the time that I was really getting into spirituality and progressive rock in general. I came to progressive rock fandom as a Yes fan, but then once I discovered there was a whole genre out there, I did branch out quite a bit. And Yes had a falling out with John Anderson, their founding lead singer and band leader, and their concerts were getting, in my opinion, a little bit stale. I did go to see them here on the Fly From Here tour. I'm wearing the t-shirt. I'll show you that later during the live portion of the music, the full t-shirt. So what does this have to do with dreams? Very briefly, the From a Page album, now that just came out and I listened to it, actually had kind of a central theme of dreams, and particularly about nightmares. There's a song basically about a dad singing to one of his kids, saying, "Don't worry about the dreams during the night. I'll be here." And you'll wake up in the morning. And another song, which ends with the line, it's the gift of love. It ends with the line, "From the moment of awakening till the moment that we wake from our dream and realize it's not real." So that, again, synchronistically brought me back to my dream theme, which I had before I even bought this record and knew it was out, because I do think that dreams are or can be quite real. And an example of that is a lyric that I wrote for a song. So this is the song "Wouldn't It Be Cool," which I had written in 1996. It has a lyric, wouldn't that be cool if late at night when you're asleep you really are awake? It's the only time your head's above the water. It's the only breath you take. Before plunging back again to flounder in the lake of consciousness. Wouldn't that be cool? And when I wrote this, I was in the Boston Songwriters Workshop, and we would do a song for the group and then critique it, and one person said I should take that verse out of the song because it's too weird and it doesn't make any sense. And actually that verse was the reason I wrote the whole song, because I felt so strongly about that. That, again, dreams were largely the theme of From a Page, and then when they released Oliver and scratched that concept and went with the Fly From Here. Anyway, appropriately and synchronistically enough, they went from dreams to flying, and I'll cover again the Fly From Here album and Flying in Your Dreams later. But moving right along, as far as the album goes, I love it. The new From a Page, Oliver Wakeman version of several of the songs that made it to Fly From Here, and some other songs that had been only released on the EP, and again I had missed it completely. And I am an Oliver Wakeman fan independently as well. Again, I mentioned becoming a progressive rock fan. I did see Oliver Wakeman along with Clive Nolan in the Rites of Spring Festival in Pennsylvania in 2006. There's the Hounds of the Baskerville album that they had done together, and you can see in pen Oliver signed it. And Oliver and Clive Nolan had also done an album, Jabberwocky, which was one of my kids' favorite albums. I used to play for them, and Rick Wakeman narrates the poem Jabberwocky, and Oliver and Clive provide the music. Also in my collection here is a CD of Oliver Wakeman with Steve Howe from 2001. Probably one of the things that led to getting them together, Oliver and the band. And once more, the music is awesome. And even Benoit David, who I was skeptical of at the time, the lead singer who had replaced John Anderson, sounds really good. I think even better on this From a Page than he did on the Fly From Here album. And Oliver's keyboard parts are amazing, and I love it. So, high recommendation for that. But then I do want to talk a little bit about Yes in general, since this is my first Yes episode, and especially about the experiences of joy and friendship that have come to me through my fandom with Yes. Some of my earliest mystical and spiritual experiences happened while listening to Yes albums, particularly the song Awaken on the Going for the One album. I'll post a link to that song in the description below. And also sitting with my head between the speakers and listening to Tales from Topographic Oceans. And also, I remember going to see them play at the Orpheum Theater in Boston with Rick Wakeman on keyboards, and they covered Ritual, Nous sommes du Soleil from the Tales from Topographic Oceans. I was there with my friend Pete, and friend and former roommate, and Pete just popped back into my life this past week. I hadn't seen him in well over 35 years. He and his wife were up visiting, and we went out to dinner together. It was very nice to catch up, and so I did want to throw that in here. Pete became a fan of Yes because of me listening to all the stuff I was playing when we were roommates together, and he ended up learning their lyrics and following them more carefully than I did, at least for a time. And he was the one who tipped me off to that concert. We also met at the Bull and Finch pub in Boston, which was famously the exterior shot for the TV show Cheers. Also, my good friend Bill, that was best man at my wedding, and we're both godfathers of each other's children. I remember very clearly dancing down the aisles, me doing air bass to Chris Squire and him doing air guitar to Trevor Rabin during one of the 90125 tours, back to back, mimicking Trevor and Chris, going circling and spinning down the aisle, and the security guards didn't even try and stop us because they probably thought we were crazy. But a lot of fun. And perhaps most notably, I was wearing a Yes baseball cap at Little League game, probably even maybe even t-ball, with my middle child one day, and a guy came up to me, one of the other parents, and said, "Hey, I see you're wearing a Yes hat. Have you ever heard of Spock's Beard?" Like, I love Spock's Beard. I was a big fan. Had just recently discovered them and had been listening to a lot of their stuff over the past year or so. And anyway, his name's Craig. We ended up becoming very good friends, and a couple years after that, went to see Asia together when they had reformed the original lineup with Jeff Downes and Steve Howe, who are on the Fly From Here album. We went to see them in Boston, and as we were leaving the concert, he asked if I would be interested in playing in the band that he was in. He talked to the group. They brought me in. They had a saxophone player student, and he had left. And I came in and have been playing with them ever since. Craig and I are now very close friends, and we do a podcast together. So I'll put a note in the description: the Wednesday night podcast with the Acton Music Project. And so if you're enjoying this and you're looking for something a little bit more raunchy, off color, and a lot sillier, then check us out. And that, again, all wouldn't have happened without the Yes link. So, when you go to a show, buy a t-shirt, or a hat, wear the gear. You never know who you're going to meet and where that could lead. But I've been playing with the Acton Music Project now for about 15 years. And it led to one of the biggest features of my life over those past 15 years. And again, great friendship with Craig and everyone in the group. And a little funny side note, we a couple years ago, we have over 5 years of episodes out there. Chris, our group leader, fed all of our episodes into an early version of AI and asked it to write an episode for us. And then he handed out the script that the AI had generated to us, and we acted it out live without any rehearsal or looking at it. But one of the funniest things that I thought was in there was it had someone say something, and then Craig and I both made the same snarky comment at the same time. So it said, "Joe and Craig say together," and then whatever it was. So anyway, we have a lot in common, and even AI, an early version of AI, could recognize that. So Craig, if you're listening, hi. And everyone in the band, hi. So that's the music portion of our show. Now moving on to the spiritual portion, as it is, talking about dreams. So yes, again, the From a Page album, we're talking about dreams not being real, and again, a connection to 2011. I had gone as 2010 into 2011, that New Year's, to an event in Monterey Bay called the Integral Spiritual Experience. And one of the keynote presenters on one night was Deepak Chopra. And Deepak said a lot of interesting and wise things, but I disagreed with a couple of his premises. And one most notably was he talked about how real life mimics dreams, in that, if you're having a dream, let's say that you're playing golf and you're on a putting, you're putting, and you're standing on the green, and there's 3 other people in your foursome. All of those people are just other aspects of yourself. So in the dream, maybe they represent different portions of your personality, you from different time periods in your life, that sort of thing. But anyway, his point was that they are not separate from you, they're aspects of yourself. And then he went on to say that real life is like that, that, we're all looking at reflections of ourselves in other people, and we're all one, which I have a big disagreement with that. And perhaps ironically, I feel the exact opposite, that the people that we meet in our life, not only are they not us, they're individuals. Give them the credit for being individuals. I think that's been part of a delusion we've been under in the 3D world. We do kind of bumble through life the past several thousand years, looking at people as though the reflections of us. We're seeing our flaws reflected back at us, our woundings, and life can work that way, and largely has worked that way. But I think that's just been an error in judgment, or in misinterpreting reality. Everyone really is a separate individual, for sure. On this plane, when we get layers up into the metaphysical reality, I'm not going to go there right now, but for all intents and purposes on Earth now, in real waking life, everyone is different. They are not you. They are someone else. And perhaps more oddly, I feel that in our dreams it can be the same way, that those other 3 people in the foursome are not necessarily us. And I didn't have good examples of that back in 2011, but I did start to learn techniques for lucid dreaming. This is getting long. I'll go into lucid dreaming a little more in a later episode. Real quick, how to lucid dream. I read a book called The Field Guide to Lucid Dreaming. Came out 2013, I think. That was very helpful. Check it out if you'd like. But some of the quick tips, which can get you there, is when you're in waking life, do little checks. So there are several things that are usually, that do happen in dreams that don't usually happen in real life, probably don't ever happen in real life, perhaps as we're ascending into broader consciousness and awakening to higher levels of consciousness. Perhaps some of these things will start happening in waking life, but as of recording this, they don't normally. So some of the checks you can do is every once in a while do a little jump, just a little jump. And if you hover in the air, it's a dream. If you go right back down again, that's waking life. So little checks. Another odd thing about dreams is if you look away from something and then look back, chances are something will have changed about the thing that you're looking at. But everything is still there. My camera's still there. And you're still there, I hope. Hang in there. And so every once in a while during waking life, do those checks. Look away, look back, and make sure everything has stayed the same. And the idea being, one of these times you'll do that in a dream. You'll look away, you'll look back, and the color of whatever was you were looking at changed. Or maybe you were looking at a door and now it's a dresser or a window. Or you'll give a little jump and you'll stay hovering and you'll know it's a dream. And once you know it's a dream, that's pretty much the definition of a lucid dream. Now you're lucid, and you can have a lot more control over what's going on in the dream. Now, one of the experiences that I had that helped, I think, confirm my theory in my disagreement in dreams with Deepak at that time was I was having a dream where I was out on a boat in the water, sailboat. There were about 12 to 20 other people on board, and I became lucid, and I decided to fly. So I lifted off and hovered and went hovering off the port side of the bow and looked back at the boat, and everybody on the boat was looking at me with kind of a side eye and a bit of a disgusted look, as though, again, they were not me. There were other people out on that boat with me, and they were annoyed that I had decided to go lucid and start flying. They were out there for a sailboat ride, and I was just kind of yucking in their yum and maybe being a little bit arrogant by taking off and flying. And so I sheepishly brought myself back into land on the boat, and I even kind of switched off my lucidity and went back to whatever I was doing in the dream before I went lucid. And when I woke up, I had a very strong feeling again that the people in my dream were not me. Maybe I was in some sort of an alternate reality or an alternate timeline or past life or parallel life, who knows. And I didn't even know most of those terms at that time. But leading into the live music portion of our show, I had a dream in about 2020. It was in the early stages of COVID, and I woke up in the morning and remembered a dream I was having where I was talking to a friend of mine, a female singer, songwriter, and she was singing and playing a song for me that she had just written. And when I woke up, I was thinking, wow, I never would have thought of that. I wish that was my song, because it was really an interesting perspective on the situation. And I started to go back to sleep. I was like, wait a second, this was a dream. There's no time to think about the ramifications of the fact that someone else perhaps wrote this, not knowing who she was. I can't even remember her name or what her face looked like. But I quickly grabbed a pen and wrote down the lyrics, and that's the verse of the song that I'll perform for you upcoming. So when I sing it, the second verse, you can kind of imagine that it's a woman singing about her experience as a young girl in an early relationship. And when I wrote it, I ended up expanding it and was intending to use it with our band and our lead singer Jill, who's also on the Wednesday night podcast with the Acton Music Project. Jill was going to sing that verse, and then Chris was going to sing the second verse, which I wrote later from my own perspective of an early relationship. and I'll do the whole song sometime in the future episode. But I'm just going to give you the chorus, which I wrote a little bit later, and may have been inspired by the dream. I wrote it soon after the verse came through. The verse, the melody, and the lyrics, I think, came from, again, my dream friend and character, whoever she was. Enjoy, and I'll meet you upstairs where I'll perform the song. Okay, and again, we're going to do some live original music to finish out the episode. First, here's the full on t-shirt from the Yes Fly From Here tour, which was the tour right after the From a Page and Oliver Wakeman situation ended. So Jeff Downs on keyboards. And when I did go to this concert, my friend Craig was there as well. We didn't realize it till afterwards that we were both at the same show. He's from the Chicago area and is a huge Styx fan as well as a Yes fan, and Styx and Yes were on a double bill together. And from a page, this is the poster that came in the deluxe edition. Again, more awesome art from Roger Dean. So here is the song. This is Wild Love. Wild love, crazy, wild and free. Wild love, oh baby, you and me. No matter what was going on or what was meant to be, just a wild love, set it loose, let it fly, watch and see. I remember how upset you were when you carved my name unthinking into your windowsill with a ballpoint pen. You didn't find it funny how I found it endearing. Your dad was mad, your mom just shook her head. And all of our wild love, crazy, wild and free. Wild love, oh baby, you and me. No matter what was going on or what was meant to be, just a wild love, set it loose, let it fly, watch and see. All right, well, thank you again for coming, and I hope you enjoyed. Find joy, go out, see some concerts, check out people on YouTube. If you like them, subscribe, go out to shows, buy the t-shirt. Who knows who you'll meet afterwards. And real quick, I'll also put a link to the May 4th episode of a Jeanette Biro YouTube video where she talked about multidimensionality coming online. So I do think this could be more and more relevant. So watch your dreams for potential multidimensional situations. Again, sometimes people are just reflections of you. You are just with other aspects of your personality, but sometimes a lot more could be going on there. And experiment. Do some of those lucid dreaming tests, and enjoy your dreams. Dreams are one of my favorite things and have been in my entire life. And yes, not quite as long, but close to my entire life has been my favorite band. So both of them will be coming back. And find your joy, enjoy your joy, take it easy out there. Again, go down rabbit holes of music and things that you love. Avoid those dark, dreary conspiratorial rabbit holes that I don't think they're going to do you any good. So, uh, once again, thank you and have a great rest of your day.